I'm very certain you guys have seen this video.
And
we were led by Young Amo to believe that this is Veetaedo. I had a quick chat with Veetaedo and we are going to clear all of this up. Stick up until the end because this is an interesting chat. I want to give a warm welcome to Veetaedo. This is his first time joining me on this channel and I have some questions for him that I believe everyone here would like some answers to.
I go by the name of the Market Sniper. It is said that if you're not inspired, you're definitely expired. Thank you very much, Rydall, Ficks, for having me for this interview. We are going to unpack each and everything that was actually said, or rather falsely said about me in the internet by your favorite trader, Young Amo, Guru, whatsoever.
The very first and most pressing question on everyone's lips. That scammer that was beaten up on the TikTok video, was that you? Because Young Amo says it is you. And a lot of social media pages says the very same thing. And we were just wondering why they are saying that.
The video that was posted on the internet concerning a scammer that was being beaten, you clearly saw that scammer. That was actually not me. Like you could see that from, you can see from my behind, that is not me. That guy is even darker. But other than that, Young Amo first posted the video and he said Veetaedo has been caught, right? Few days following, then we saw on Twitter a page that also posted the whole thing about me and said Veetaedo. Similar statements to what Young Amo posted. Few days after again, then it was Facebook. Same thing. You understand? So I just feel like why he did that and how did it go as far as going into Twitter and whatnot, and Facebook and other pages. I feel like this guy went as far as posting the video, went as far as paying these bloggers to post that is actually Veetaedo, right? Why am I saying that? If you see a screenshot that I will send you where he says, I'm actually coming for your bag, I want to make sure that you fall down. That is Young Amo's words, right? But then that is actually not me. And I was never in any mall beaten up by anyone and whatnot, or rather scammed anyone for that. But then, yeah.
You and Young Amo sounds like you guys have some history and you guys were cool friends before. Can you tell us the reason why you guys had this fallout in the first place?
The reason for our fallout with Young Amo, man, is really not that deep, like for him to be doing all this chaos. Last year, I promoted a broker. And Young Amo didn't have any broker that he was working with. And we did a successful seminar where he was in, as you guys saw the video on my YouTube, he was in supporting, we were all together, working all together in the seminar, and it became a success. Then after some time, he decided to go to a broker, which is actually enemies with the broker that I'm promoting, right? And he wanted to hold a seminar. And my argument was that I cannot come to the seminar because of these guys, and these guys are actually fighting. It will actually clash. You understand? And he didn't understand that. And I was like, you know what, man, let's talk face to face so that we can come with a resolution concerning this whole thing. He took it as we turning against him. Then he blocked me everywhere. He didn't want to communicate with me and whatnot. And then I decided to also just be quiet and continue with my life and so forth. It was not that deep for it to go this far. You understand? So yeah, that is the reason for our fallout actually.
In a TikTok video that was reposted to my YouTube channel, your friend talks about how you were the one that helped Young Amo back up out of the dust and that he was flat broke when you started helping him. How broke was he?
You know, answering that question, Seth Trader is actually right. You know, when I look at that time, things were really bad. I wouldn't like to bash out someone like that on the internet on his downfall and speak on how things were bad. I wouldn't go deep, I would just scratch the surface. But then things were really bad to a point where on the day of the seminar, if people who were there would remember very well, I borrowed him my car. He didn't have a car. I borrowed him my car so that it shouldn't look like he has fallen or whatnot, right? To a point where it happened that the day before the seminar, said trader, when he came to my house, because we had to sleep in my house for us to go to the seminar, said trader went and fetched him with his car so that we could go to the seminar all together in the following day, to a point where I actually helped him pay his rent. You understand? To a point where me, Witness, and Said Trader were posting him each and every day, reposting him, and we would get negative energy from people saying, why would you post this guy, he scammed me and whatnot, but we would just scratch that away and help him get back to his feet. You understand? It was actually bad, but then we were there. We are the only, no one would come and tell us that he was there. We were there.
That's really interesting. I would like to know, how did he manage to get on his feet and leave your place right after mooching off you? Did he even give you some money for rent or food?
Me, Said Trader, and Witness each and every day trying to bring him and help him up. And he eventually did get up. You understand? And now things are turning right for him. Then he just go out and bash us out like that. I really don't understand what kind of a person does that. But then things were not looking nice. I'm not even saying much. I'm just scratching up the surface concerning that whole thing. So yeah.
Talking about family is a real touchy subject, and he touched on your daughter, so I can only imagine how you must feel. Can you tell us how you felt when he went on that podcast to say that he gave your family money and that he paid for your daughter's school fees?
You know, when I watched that podcast, I was very disappointed and I was laughing. How can you just go and tell people that you fed my family, you were paying my daughter's school fees? What picture are you trying to portray? Because of the very same family that you say you fed, that you say you bought groceries for, it's the very same family that fed him for like 2 years. He was staying at my home. They fed him. You understand? Don't talk about my daughter's fees. I don't want to go there. Let me raise something. Do you know that I bought an Audi A4 2006 model when I was not working? I only had a studio. Young Amo was one of the biggest trader in SA, but he didn't have a car. The very same Audi A4 took Young Amo to his classes. I would go with him using my car. Where else he's classified as one of the biggest trader in the industry? Where else I also thought he had all these Rolls Royces that he was posting. I thought it was his, but then I was driving him in my Audi A4. I will show you the screenshot right here. Sorry. Do you know that we could go and park very fast so that people do not see that we came with my Audi A4, and we would wait for everyone to vanish in the venue after he had held a class? That's how messed up it is. How does he pay for my school fees where else I was able to buy myself a car with my studio money? So, you know, all these lies that is trying to portray, in which is trying to bring me down, I don't know where they're coming from. You cannot do that to someone who was there for you. So for someone who was there for you from day one, just because of you want to impress people who are never there, like people who don't know you at all. But we know Young Amo. We grew up with that. When he had nothing, we could go and ask for money at Josie with Young Amo so that we can be able to push a dream of music. Now, because of he has money, he cannot control himself. He feel like he's over the moon. Dog, this is very simple. This envy and jealousy won't take you anywhere. It won't actually make you anything. You cannot just go and lie about people who helped you. This brings up a question to the people who are actually around his circle, that if he's able to do such from someone who actually grew up with him having not to have anything, what more, or rather, what will it won't last. It won't last. So yeah, man, it was disappointing and it is sad, and I'm not happy that I'm actually doing such videos right now because of this whole thing. But then at the end of the day, I need to clear myself.
Thank you for chatting to us. I sincerely hope that you can join us again on this channel in the future. Now, what have we learned through this chat with Veetaedo. Firstly, the most important thing here is that the scammer in that video was not Veetaedo, and even I could see that this is not Veetaedo while you guys were sending me and tagging me in that video. The second thing that is really apparent to me, by admission of Veetaedo, it sounds like him and Young Amo have been cool friends for a really long time, and seeing that Young Amo supported Veetaedo on the events that Veetaedo had, Young Amo felt betrayed when Veetaedo couldn't join Young Amo's event. And as you guys have heard, according to Veetaedo, it's gonna be a conflict of interest because the broker that Young Amo is working with and the broker that Veetaedo is working with is enemies. And sitting here, I'll be honest to say, I understand both of their reasonings. One thing that is also very, very clear is the fact that Young Amo took up this as a personal vendetta and he's out to destroy Veetaedo by any means necessary. And when he sent Veetaedo that message where he said, "I'm coming for your bag," I just knew this bruh feels like he has a score to settle. Another thing we also learned is that Young Amo was constantly flexing with cars that wasn't his. And I mean, I've told you guys that since jump, but no one believed me because every day he would post content in these cars, and with these cars you would see him driving everywhere in these cars. But here you obviously hear Veetaedo alleging that none of those cars were his, and I mean, if it was his, he wouldn't have fallen in the first place. According to Veetaedo, Veetaedo's family invited Young Amo into their home with open arms, and if that is true and Young Amo is out here speaking the lies that he is speaking by saying he bought groceries and he gave that people money, then that is highly disingenuous of him. Especially seeing that Veetaedo helped him pay rent a couple of times. I hope you guys paid attention to the part where Veetaedo admitted that once upon a time Young Amo was one of the biggest traders in South Africa. But how is it possible that you are one of the biggest traders in South Africa, which is coupled to having a lot of money, but you don't even have your own car? As Veetaedo mentioned, he would be the one that would sometimes give Young Amo a car just so that Young Amo doesn't look suspicious when he pulls up to these events. In business, there's a saying that as a boss, you are supposed to be the first to come and the last to leave, and Young Amo was constantly presenting himself to be a boss, so he lived by that mantra. But now we know that he was the first to arrive so that no one could see the car that he was arriving in, and he was the last to leave so that no one could see the car that he was leaving in. And they played it nogal smart by parking far, so if fans and supporters was following them, they could just walk in a total different direction and act like they may be going to get some McDonald's, get some coffee, get some whatever, except walking to the car that they were so embarrassed to drive in. It's very clear that on his way to success, the money completely flew to Young Amo's head and he lost it all somewhere along the point. As the GOAT said, he got lost in the sauce. Will these two gents make up? I'm not sure. That is something that is left to be seen. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers.